hello, dear. It's your mother. It seems like we never hear from you anymore. Well, don't worry. Your father and I are fine. And honey, when you get tired of living in that damp, chilly house, your room at home is still waiting for you. Make sure you're taking your vitamins and using that nice umbrella Aunt Selma gave you last Christmas. Okay? I love you. Bye.
Hello? Remember me? Your editor? You're not answering your calls, are you? I'm getting tired of talking to a machine. I thought you'd be home writing, but apparently you're not. You know, I can't send out that advance until I actually see some of that story you're working on. Call me back.
This is Jeremiah Crick. Something has happened. Something horrible. I have to leave immediately. I don't know how long I'll be gone. Amanda is here at the Lighthouse. I don't want to leave her alone. Please come right away. If you don't hear from me soon, it will mean that I have failed. And then... Oh, God, I just can't think of that now. There is no time. I have no choice. Please, you're the only one who can help me. Come now.
April 12, 8 a.m. In unpacking a recent shipment of books from the university, I came across an arcane work entitled The Godel Universe. Browsing through it idly, I was surprised to discover a theory about the space-time continuum that today's theoretical physicists have either forgotten or ignored. Godel's theory is based on a group of motions of Bianchi type 8, in which the invariant varieties for the motions are three-dimensional hypersurfaces containing null and time-like lines, i.e., the orthogonals to these hypersurfaces are space-like. However, the Godel universe admits a four-parameter group in which the Bianchi type 8 is an invariant subgroup, thus revealing a universe both homogeneous and stationary. This stationary characteristic makes the model unsuitable for our representation of the universe as we know it. Godel's hypothesis ends there, but I think it may apply to my own research on distortions in space. If our universe may be compared to a single sheet of paper, then with the proper bending of that sheet, any 2 points in space, no matter what the linear distance between them, may be brought into proximity, enabling instantaneous travel over distances of many light years. My theory that electricity focused through a Fresnel lens would create just such a proximity point is supported by Godel's model. I will incorporate it into future calculations. April 29, 11 p.m. I have modified the algorithm to include Godel's theory and focus the Fresnel lens accordingly. The storm is supposed to move in sometime after midnight. I will wait up for it, though these late nights are taking their toll. Hopefully this storm will be intense and the lightning rod will attract the bolt. If the power modulation tube can withstand the initial blast of energy, it should regulate the flow through the Fresnel lens, which in turn will focus it directly into my device. Maybe this time I will get some conclusive results. May 11, 3 p.m. Today I opened the gate and was about to begin modifications when a figure suddenly appeared on the other side. It was bipedal and roughly shaped and sized like a man, though impossibly thin with long limbs. I was startled and prepared to shut down the device, but the creature made no move toward me, just peered curiously, first at the portal and then at myself. Its eyes were small and intelligent, almost mischievous, but there was no malice in them. We stared at each other for as long as a minute. Then it turned and loped out of my view. This visitation confirms a growing suspicion that I have discovered some kind of parallel universe, for the creature is of a species not to be found upon this earth. May 19, 11 a.m. Today, the creature returned. He approached the portal cautiously, sniffed it, then reached out with a finger as black and gnarled as a burnt twig. Testing the limits of his boldness, I beckoned him to come over. In a single bound, the creature was through the portal. He crouched before me, looking like nothing so much as a giant spider. I noticed strange geometric tattoos on his chest and upper arms. I watched him carefully for the duration of his visit, but all he did was peer inquisitively at the equipment. Twice, when a particular device caught his interest, he glanced at me, as if asking a question. His behavior almost made me laugh, as his furrowed black brow and tapering fingers made me think of a monkey exploring a new cage. When the energy levels approached instability, I coughed once to get the creature's attention and pointed to the portal. Apparently understanding my meaning, he took one last look around the laboratory, then went to the portal and stepped through. I just had time to see him safely on the other side before the power supply collapsed and the lights went out. July 1st, 4 p.m. I have just returned from the other side. As on the previous test run, the portal stayed open for almost an hour, convincing me that my most recent modifications to the power modulation tube were successful. On this last trip, I extended my explorations, following the path until I came to a tall building some distance down the rocky coast. Approaching the tower, I was surprised to hear a voice call to me from a high window. I looked up to see a man waving excitedly. To my surprise, I could understand his speech. He invited me to come up at once. Thus, I made the acquaintance of another inhabitant in what I have come to think of as a parallel world. The eccentric old man turned out to be an inventor of strange animated contraptions. We sat in his workshop surrounded by mechanical odds and ends. His talk rambled from subject to subject in a disjointed manner I could not entirely follow. Several times he mentioned a dark being whom he feared and warned me about in gibbered, broken words. I believe it is the creature from the beach. Much of his rambling I was unable to comprehend. As I prepared to return to the portal, he suddenly began rooting among an assortment of gadgetry. After a few moments, the inventor revealed an intricate decorative box. To my surprise, he pressed it upon me with the utmost urgency. The inventor is obviously deranged, though his inventions indicate genius as well. His strange behavior made me fear for my safety. I felt a sudden, urgent desire to return to the portal, and so, thanking him for his gift, I departed. The return to this world was uneventful, but I am troubled. Just what was the inventor trying to tell me? I have examined the box closely and have opened 2 of its inner panels, but I am unable to continue further. April 12, 8 a.m. In unpacking a recent shipment of books from the university, I came across an arcane work entitled The Godel Universe. Browsing through it idly, I was surprised to discover a theory about the space-time continuum that today's theoretical physicists have either forgotten or ignored. Godel's theory is based on a group of motions of Bianchi type 8, in which the invariant varieties for the motions are three-dimensional hypersurfaces containing null and time-like lines, i.e., the orthogonals to these hypersurfaces are space-like. However, the Godel universe admits a four-parameter group in which the Bianchi type 8 is an invariant subgroup, thus revealing a universe both homogeneous and stationary. This stationary characteristic makes the model unsuitable for a representation of the universe as we know it. Godel's hypothesis ends there, but I think it may apply to my own research on distortions in space. If our universe may be compared to a single sheet of paper, then with the proper bending of that sheet, any 2 points in space, no matter what the linear distance between them, may be brought into proximity, enabling instantaneous travel over distances of many light years. My theory that electricity focused through a Fresnel lens would create just such a proximity. April 30, 7 a.m. Something unexpected and quite remarkable. The storm hit after midnight and peaked shortly before 5 a.m. The lightning was frequent and directly overhead. The energy cells charged quickly to maximum capacity. At 5:25, I made some adjustments to the power modulation parameters and turned on the machine. The Fresnel lens focused the massive waves of energy passing through the device, and as I had predicted, a distortion in space occurred before the device. To my amazement, the distortion began to deform. I stared in disbelief as the anomaly I had created burst like a bubble, revealing a portal in the fabric of space. Through the portal, I caught a glimpse of a rugged land, possibly a rocky shore, as I thought I saw water in the distance. Certainly no place around here, no place I had ever seen before. After just a few moments, a sudden power surge collapsed the energy field and blew the fuses. Stunned by what I had seen, I sat in the dark, thinking and listening to the diminishing rain. Amanda's waking cry finally brought me to my senses. I do not understand what I have witnessed. The only explanation I can devise is that if indeed our universe is as a single sheet of paper, then there may be other sheets or universes layered with our own. If the portal caused the space-time continuum to fold, another universe may have been crumpled up alongside of this one. I must continue my experiments in this uncharted territory and hope for enlightenment somewhere along the way. My first task will be to modify the energy consumption so that I can control the gate and increase the time it stays open. May 2nd, 9 p.m. I have had limited success modulating the power supply, and I am unsure how to stabilize the gate. An hour ago, I programmed the gate to stay open for 6 minutes. It opened and I stepped through. The sensation was strange, but not painful. I felt a strong pulling force, as if my body was stretching like saltwater taffy. The light brightened to an intense glare. My eyes blurred with tears, distorting shapes and colors. Gradually, the pulling subsided and my vision cleared. I found myself standing on the rocky shore I had seen through the portal. I turned and, much to my reassurance, saw the portal still open behind me. A large body of water was just visible at the foot of a narrow path. I heard the muffled roar of the surf, though I was too far away to see the waves. Bending down, I picked up a rock. It seemed solid enough. Affected by a sudden nervousness, I dropped the rock and went back through the portal. This time, the sensation was one of being pushed almost violently, and I stumbled and fell to my knees on the laboratory floor. May 11, 3 p.m. Today, I opened the gate and was about to begin modifications when a figure suddenly appeared on the other side. It was bipedal and roughly shaped and sized like a man, though impossibly thin, with long limbs. I was startled and prepared. May 9th. July 1st. July 1st, 4 p.m. I have just returned from the other side, as on the inventor is obviously deranged. May 25, 6 p.m. Perhaps I have been unwise in allowing the creature frequent access to my laboratory. Our mutual curiosity seemed reason enough at the time, but now I am uncertain. Since his first appearance, the creature has been waiting for me every time I activate the portal into his world. He would watch me work or study the equipment, but he never touched anything or interfered in any way. I must have become accustomed to his presence because today, after opening the gate and watching the creature cross over, I focused my attention on my work. When I looked up from the computer, he was gone. Upon examining my equipment, I discovered that a power modulation tube was missing. Although the tubes are expensive, I have several spares, so the loss is not too serious. I am concerned the creature's motivation may go beyond mere curiosity. Though his action does not necessitate curtailment of my experiments, I will restrict his access to my laboratory. May 27, 3 a.m. I have built a cage around the portal so that the creature cannot wander freely about the lab. When I opened the portal earlier this evening, he was not waiting on the other side. No doubt he realized that I must have learned of his thievery and hesitated to show himself again. I pretended to be absorbed in my work. After a few minutes, I caught a peripheral glimpse of a shadow crossing the portal into the cage. I turned toward him. The creature did not appear disturbed by the cage. He crouched on his haunches and stared at me without expression. Though I felt uneasy, I forced myself back to work. The minutes passed slowly. Finally, it was time to shut off the power to the gate. When I reached for the switch, the creature leapt across the portal. Obviously, he understands some of what I do and knew his escape route was threatened. We have been unable to communicate, but I am beginning to think there may be deeper, more devious aspects to his intelligence. June 14, 2 p.m. It has been over a week since I last saw the creature. He has returned less often since I built the cage over the portal. I am continuing my work to stabilize the energy field, thus far without success. Now that I am not constantly watched by the creature, I have a revitalized energy, enabling me to work straight through most nights. Though lack of sleep makes me irritable, a mood that must be contagious, as Mandy is unusually ill-tempered as well. I'm sure our new neighbor must think us both a bit peculiar, though our infrequent exchanges have been pleasant enough. Since Diana's death, I have had little interest in such things as friends. Perhaps that is not entirely healthy, though now I have no time for such thoughts. I digress, probably due to my long hours. Hopefully, soon I will have results to show for my labors. July 7, 11 p.m. A breakthrough. I added a new parameter which eliminated the instability factor. The equation now allows for the possibility of a permanent gateway, stable for an indefinite period of time. I am feeling ill, and I am afraid my lack of sleep is clouding my judgment. The final modifications on the equipment must keep until tomorrow morning. July 7, 2 a.m. My worst fears have come true. The dark being has somehow copied my device and has created its own portal between the worlds. I awoke to the unmistakable electric snap of the portal closing. That thing has been in my lab. It has stolen more equipment and, to my horror, my blueprints for the gate device. I am such a fool. I am preparing to follow it through. I will only have an hour before the gate closes, and I do not know where the creature has gone. I have been so blind, doing nothing while it has schemed to steal my invention. I must stop it. I must destroy its gateway into our world. Oh, dear God, let me be in time.
Who are you? Are you a priest? Are you a friend? Did you bring me shells and pebbles? What is it you want? Look to the skies. The volcano is burning. Who is this creature that sullies the waters? Why has he come with the ways of the past? Look to the skies. The volcano is burning. Who is this creature that sullies the waters? Thank you, stranger. The priests used to bring me presents like these. Sometimes I make things to pass the time. These will be perfect. Wise to the old ways, the priests burnt night candles, uncovering secrets long lost in the fall. Quiet as mice, they devised a device, something to stop it for once and for all. The wise and holy gathered here, machines of metal cast. They study that which came before, to learn from errors past. He has conquered the fortress. He has vanquished the people. A monster he put there to prevent their return. Wise to the old ways, this means they aren't dead. They will never return. I am alone here, with no one to help me. No pretty stones for Lyral. Nothing but tears. Nothing but tears. A ruined earth is slow to heal, and people loathe to grow. But nature speaks to those who'll hear and toil with plow and hoe. A ruined earth, wise to the old ways, the sun and wind, the sea and rain provide for all our needs. We plant and reap, we teach and learn, we cherish that which feeds. Wait, I know more. I am alone here. It has been a long time since anyone has come. Tell me, have you seen the temple priests? I see you have not. No new shells for little Lyral. I fear something bad has happened. He has conquered. Wait. Let me tell you about the priests, and perhaps you can watch for them on your journey. They set out in the iron ironclad ship. They should have returned by now. The Wise and Hood, the Sun, weighed in 6 separate pieces. A weapon they built, and 5 of those pieces they hid. The priests and the 6th set out in the ironclad ship, collecting the pieces to assemble a whole. This scattered device is the last chance we have. But what of the priests at sea? I know no more. There is no more to tell. No more pebbles. No more shells. Of this land. To understand what has happened here, you must first learn our history. Now I can tell the stories.
I am Lyra, guardian and sacred ward of the Temple of Ancient Machines. I came here when I was 4 years old. There was an accident. The priests put me in a machine to save my life. It is my heartbeat, my breath, and my blood. I have been trained in the art of story, the remembrance of things past. Listen and learn our history. A long time ago, a powerful people ruled this world. They were masters of machines. There was nothing they could not build in their factories. No obstacle nature put in their path could defeat them. But their blind desire for progress became their doom. The world became polluted. The animals died, and the ocean stank. The sky became yellow. The sun shone through a sickly haze. Finally, the land itself died. All but the strongest and most isolated perished. Disease and famine consumed them. Those who remained lived only to survive, and the old ways were lost. Many died during this dark age, but a new philosophy was born. Holy men gathered together and built this temple. These priests, realizing the error of past ways, sought to integrate the ways of nature in the resurrection to foster rather than exploit. This acorn of thought took root and grew a philosophy of life which spread its branches over every aspect of the new time. This temple is a storehouse for what little remains of the old technology, a sacred place in which to carefully study the remnants of dead age. It is hoped that with wisdom and caution, some of the ancient ways might be incorporated into the technology of today. The priests scoured the lands and brought the old machines here. Generations passed. With guidance from the temple, the people developed natural sources of energy. Slowly the land recovered, and the people regained their sense of purpose. Life improved, balanced in a carefully maintained harmony with nature.
He has conquered. That room is private. He has conquered the fortress. He has... changed. When Martin built him, he was good. I will keep him here, so he won't hurt anyone else. Maybe in time I can repair him. Perhaps he can be a companion for me. Thank you for saving me. I could not have stopped him by myself. trust you now. You may ascend or descend. Perhaps the dome contains some of the answers you seek. Wait, you should know more. The priests thought he came from our past, or maybe from another world. He lives in the ancient volcano. Not long ago, the priests noticed black smoke in the sky. They believed it was an eruption, but when they looked, they discovered a strange being, a tattooed devil, altering the volcano to suit some plan of his own. He has built a factory there in the tunnels beneath the mountain. Wait, they kept him under close watch. They saw the effects of his work. Smoke darkened the skies. Sludge and poisonous chemicals contaminated the sea. The dark being, as he came to be called, thus revealed his wicked nature. The sun. Wait! The priests knew something must be done before the dark being corrupted the land. From the safety of his stronghold, he plotted. He drove the people away from their homes and released a monster to guard should they try to return. The priest poured through the ancient texts, uncovering long buried secrets of the old technology. Wait, using this knowledge, they created a device to contain him. As they finished each part of the device, they sent it away for safe keeping. When they completed the sixth and final piece, they set off in the ironclad ship to collect the other 5 and assemble them. That was the last I saw of them. Descend to the room of the ancient machines. son.
My head. Where am I? Oh, my head. Where am I? I feel dizzy. Where are my blueprints? Thank you for saving us. I couldn't have defeated the Dark Being without your help. I will be more careful in the future. My experiments have risked the life of my only daughter. Please, don't tell anyone. They would think you were mad, I know. The Dark Being should never be set free. It tortured me to get my calculations, but I didn't tell it anything. Throw the bottle into the sea. I will destroy my notes. The world will be a better place. You should go now. Amanda needs some rest. Thank you again. thank you for saving us. I couldn't have defeated the dark being without your help. I will be more careful in the future. My experiments have risked the life of my only daughter. Please, don't tell anyone. They would think you were mad, I know. The dark being should never be set free. It tortured me to get my calculations, but I didn't tell it anything. Throw the bottle into the sea. I will destroy my notes. The world will be a better place. You should go now. Amanda needs some rest. Thank you again. I won't leave without my Amanda. Thank you for saving us. I was a fool to work alone on such a dangerous experiment. Please, don't tell anyone. They would think you were mad, I know. They have laughed at me before. I thought I was a genius, but my experiments almost destroyed my own family. I have done far more harm than good. Thank God, Amanda is safe. If I lost her, I know I would go mad. I should destroy the device, but the creature is still free. I think it will return someday. If it were to build a permanent portal, it could cause great harm to the Earth. I will always be waiting. If it returns, I will be ready. You should go now. Amanda needs some rest. Thank you again. Thank you for saving us. I was a fool to work alone on such a dangerous experiment. Please, don't tell anyone. They would think you were mad. I know. They have laughed at me before. I thought I was a genius, but my experiments almost destroyed my own family. I have done far more harm than good. Thank God, Amanda is safe. If I lost her, I know I would go mad. I should destroy the device, but the creature is still free. I think it will return someday. If it were to build a permanent portal, it could cause great harm to the Earth. I will always be waiting. If it returns, I will be ready. You should go now. Amanda needs some rest. Thank you again.